All right, everybody. So today, what we are going to be covering is what I have lovely named Maldur's Bait 3. Obviously, I mean Baldur's Gate 3. But we're also going to be covering the all-absorbing Activision. There has been a shutdown of a Blizzard studio, and we're also going to touch on that a little bit. I think first we're going to be talking about Baldur's Gate 3. So I actually picked this up yesterday after looking at it. Did a mini review, I want to say a couple weeks ago, but definitely didn't do anything in depth and didn't really do my own in-depth research. But that being said, I am now happy to say that I have, and now that I've played the game, I'm extremely happy that I have. So, Baldur's Gate 3, I went into it not really knowing what to expect, right? I saw some gameplay trailers and stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. This looks like something that I can get behind. Then I found out the studio and the developer, Larian. I'm a huge fan of their works. They have done the entire Divinity line. The most notable that is, well, I guess the most recent too, is Divinity 2 Original Sin, or Divinity Original Sin 2. And I played the crap out of that game. I loved it. Any game that kind of gives me that D&D feel without playing D&D is actually really, really fun to me. And so when I found that it was from the studio that I know and love, and partnered with Wizards of the Coast, who make Dungeons and Dragons, to make Baldur's Gate 3, that got me excited. I know I've said on this channel a lot that I'm not really one for getting games early or incomplete games. Now, that will have a caveat to it of if I know the studio and support the studio and want them to do well because they have not done customers wrong in the past. They've produced fantastic games. They have a great track record. I have no problem helping them through their early access phase, reporting bugs, trying to make sure that their game comes out perfect. And I love the chance to be able to help a good growing game studio. I say growing, but they've been around since I think 1994, 1996. But yeah, it's just, it is it's a nice breath of fresh air, really. So the gameplay itself is just like Divinity Original Sin 2, where it's like you kind of move around, have turn-based combat, and it's really fun. So all the spells, I'm currently playing a warlock. That was the class that I chose to start with, and it is they take spells right out of the D&D handbook. We have Eldritch Blast, we have Conjure Familiar, we have Hex, we have Charm, and that's Eldritch Blast. If you're not if you've ever played a warlock, that's basically your bread and butter. So it's just fun to see that incorporated into a game that I can play, in a video game universe instead of like a tabletop way. And for me personally, it's really nice. I like it a lot. So I played about 4.5 hours yesterday, and man, first of all, the cinematics, beautiful cinematics, completely blew me away. The opening cinematic when you're in the ship, oh my god, I was not expecting. See, when I was expecting something after I heard the studio, something along the lines of Divinity Original Sin 2. Well, you're immediately thrust into this sci-fi fantasy area, and god, it blew my mind. It just blew my mind. Like I said, it's visually stunning. The gameplay was super fun. Now, I did have a couple of crashes. I'm not going to go to front on that. However, they all seem to be centralized over one spot on the main ship. It was one area after like your first actual encounter in like the tutorial part that they bring you through. My game ended up crashing about 3 or 4 times. Of course, I submitted reports, etc., of what I was doing, but it did happen. And so I started save scumming because I was worried about losing progress. But since then, so that was about an hour and a half into my playthrough. Hour and a half, just because I was looking around, trying to explore, etc. Now, after that point, I never had a crash. So I'm really hoping it was just one spot that interactions were weird, maybe like threw the game for a little bit of a loop. Because like I said, knock on wood, you heard it. That was just like a one part area thing, and we can not experience that moving forward. I feel like that would be the move, obviously for enjoying gameplay. But my first impressions of it is it's fantastic. Like I said, visually stunning. I love the dialogue. So it just feels natural and real. The responses from the NPCs that you meet, from like the cinematic dialogue, which seems to be the way that they are doing it, which I think is really cool because it gives you a perspective of the person. There are constant roles happening during your play. Like, for example, if I'm talking to someone, I might have a dice roll for an insight check to see if they're lying, see what their true intentions are. And that is really cool. Just mid-conversation, make a roll to see if they're, telling the truth or something like that. The active sneak, I have a rogue in my party now. And if you want to hide and then move back into a line of sight, you have to do a stealth roll. It's just basically D&D, but in a playable game format, and it is really, really fun. I'm excited to keep on trucking through Baldur's Gate. It is, I'll definitely be doing it on stream sometime so everyone can see it, check it out, see if you guys might want to like it and enjoy it too. But man, I am excited to keep pressing forward. It looks, like I said, just fantastic. The gameplay is hella fun. I'm pumped to keep on going with that. Super pumped. Super, super pumped. Now, I will say, because it is an early access, if you want to wait, please wait. If you are not a fan of having to deal with issues and just want a full, complete product, please wait. Like I said, there are things missing and bugs will happen. Like an example in character creation, I believe a couple of the starting backgrounds that you can choose from, there's only one available, and that is custom, but there should be about 7 other presets, I want to say, so that is still in development but should be coming soon. Everything else on character creation looked pretty good. But yeah, there were definitely, like I said, a couple game crashes in that one area. I will say everything else has been super smooth and streamlined, so we take that as a major positive. Now let me talk about the all-absorbing Activision. So recently, Activision Blizzard, let me just call it the full name. Activision Blizzard closed down their French branch, which is one of the main Blizzard offices in Europe. Right? And here is what we got going on today. Let me pull this up for you guys in case you guys want to read along with me here. We will go here. Then go here. Okay, so video game publisher Activision Blizzard informed employees in its France office that it will be closed, putting an end to the U.S. company's history. It employed about 400 people as early as 2019 and handled marketing, customer support, localizing games in different languages, and other functions for the titles of Activision Blizzard published in Europe. Okay, so just from this, we have to assume that due to the pandemic and, there's also this wonderful thing in Europe called the Brexit happening. So it's a hot time. It's a hot time in Europe and all around the world, obviously. But shutting this down and relocating a lot of those workers to the Activision headquarters in the UK means a couple things from an outsider's perspective, right? So number one, I think they really wanted to get this building for Blizzard out of France. And here's why. France has some very, very strict labor laws. And for example, you can't just hire someone. You have to do an entire contract when you are getting a job somewhere. Let me see here. I have them up here. This is a little thing. The employment contract must be drafted in France or in French. In France, there is no concept similar to employment at will. The law caps a 5-day work week at 35 hours, and an employee can't work more than 10 hours in any workday. Hours worked beyond 35 hours are overtime and paid at an increased rate. So, there you go. As an American-based company, like Activision is, something inside me is telling me that this is a move to get, not only to cut employees to save money, but to get the existing employees, once they are assimilated in to the new, or to Activision, and working from there for Blizzard, going to be working more hours, less pay. I can feel it. I'm not saying that's an American mindset, but it is. It definitely is. Those kind of labor laws definitely are non-existent in America. So, Activision, Blizzard, gotta call it the whole thing. They have changed their, this is just a small thing, but they've actually changed their email, like their email signatures. It's not just Blizzard anymore. It's Activision Blizzard when you get an email from a Blizzard rep. It's no longer just Blizzard Entertainment. I think this is a move to slowly assimilate Blizzard. So I think they're losing their independence in their own game development and their courses they want to take with their games, the timelines, the marketing, the business side of it. I think eventually what we'll be seeing is just the full absorption of Blizzard Entertainment. So what does this mean? What does this mean for employees? What does this mean for consumers? So for employees, after a bunch of layoffs, we've seen a bunch of disgruntled employees, also leave their own volition and just advocate for better practices and work relations inside of Activision Blizzard, because I think we've all seen the horror stories of how employees are treated and their wages. It's sad. It's sad, as we saw a bunch of higher-ups, CEOs of, or the co-founder of Blizzard, making the new studio Dreamhaven, taking a bunch of talented people from Blizzard, a bunch of senior staff moved over. I feel like this is going to be eventually a mass exodus of everyone who originally worked there, who had this like big nerd boner for working for Blizzard, right? Because I mean, shit, if you're like, oh yeah, I work for Blizzard, I feel like now that's not as that's not such a good accolade to try to hang on your wall. And as they're becoming more absorbed into Activision, I also feel like a bunch of their game policies are going to change too. So we've already seen the introduction of microtransactions and pay features in World of Warcraft, and I don't think that's going to stop there. So as it keeps getting absorbed, I feel like Activision is going to keep putting in things in the game that weren't previously there, so they can try to monetize the most that they can out of the World of Warcraft product or any other Blizzard Entertainment product, be it Overwatch, StarCraft, etc., Diablo. So what does this mean for consumers? I think on our side, since Blizzard is continually losing their independence and their, what's the word I'm looking for? Their own spirit, I suppose, in their own development cycle, I just feel like we're going to get muddier games constantly. And I feel like it's just a downturn. When you strip a company of their freedom of development, of creativity, of their own release cycle that they might need to finish a complete product, then that's when you start getting bad games. You start getting disgruntled employees. And that's not the atmosphere you want when you're trying to be in a creative medium. It's disheartening. And as more of the offices of Blizzard get shut down, more of the original employees leave, I feel like the original concept and vision of Blizzard has been declining and will continue to decline, especially since they just closed their biggest marketing and PR building in France. And I don't think that's a smart move, but hey, I'm not the leader of the company. I'm not making those shots, but as a consumer and as a person seeing it from the outside, I'm worried. And I guess we'll just have to see where it goes from here, but we'll see how it affects Activision Blizzard going forward. As like I said, even in their email headers, it's no longer just Blizzard Entertainment. It is now Activision Blizzard. I wonder if we'll ever see a Blizzard original again, if everything on the boxes are going to have Activision on it too, as their main company. Are we seeing the end of Blizzard games? Is it just going to be started over somewhere else, aka Dreamhaven? Are they going to re-envision the core philosophies of Blizzard? And I'm very interested to see how all this is going to affect their community in a whole, just because closing down a massive marketing and PR office is huge, especially as now, World of Warcraft Shadowlands is coming out. There have been so much community feedback, so much community trying to reach out to people, and we don't feel like we've been heard on many cases. And destroying an entire place of employment for people that are dedicated to that sort of thing, it's got me feeling some type of way. Not gonna lie. Not even gonna lie. So there it is. There is my Baldur's Gate 3 review. Fantastic. I love it. I'm excited to keep playing it. And I'll definitely be doing it on stream. So everyone can watch along, maybe help me report some bugs along the way. We can make a comment to the developers and such to try to help them get the development process underway. Also, the all-absorbing Activision claimed another one. I will be putting it up on YouTube soon here, Heart of Ban. I appreciate you dropping by. Thank you so much. But so far, I really like it. I like it a lot. Sure, I've had a little bit of problems, but like I said, I'll be posting it. So if you want to see that review of it, please go check it out. But yes, the all-absorbing Activision shut down their marketing and PR for Blizzard Entertainment in France. I have my own ideas of why, little bit conspiracy theories of French labor laws kind of holding them down, working only 35 hours a week. They're like, nah, we're an American company, 35 hours a week. Lol. Do that in a day. Have fun. You have 24 hours to work 35 hours. Bitch. America. So, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said, this will be up on YouTube. Please make sure to hit that bell, notification, subscribe, like, all the above, so we can keep this community growing, and you will know when I become online every time, so you don't have to miss out. And everyone, thank you so much, and have a very wonderful rest of your day. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.